Erik the Bike Man.
Erik the Bike Man.
Erik's Bike Shop, established in 1977. We have all been confronted with that age-old question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Most of us have uttered the tried and true, fireman, doctor, cowboy. Not Erik Saltfold. After only one pre-teen trial run as a newspaper carrier, Erik dropped his newsboy career and went directly to his dream: bikes. At age 13, he plunged into business with $150 saved from his paper route. He bought and repaired a bike, and with that, launched a career.
Well, I always loved bikes. I rode bikes when I was younger, so I would, as a kid, when I was young, when I was growing up, I got the hand-me-down bike from my sisters. I was the youngest of 4 kids, and it was a girl's bike, and of course, being a young boy who wants to ride a girl's bike, so I spent a summer converting that bike into a dirt bike, and I made it from a girl's bike into a boy's bike, and I rode that bike around. But I spent the summer learning about bikes, and that was how I really developed a passion.
Today, Erik owns and operates 11 bike shops in the Twin City metropolitan area and one in Madison, Wisconsin. From a one-man company to a 2-person show, he enlisted the help of his mom.
I was a good student in school, and I never got called down to the principal's office, and one day I got called down to the principal's office, and I didn't know what it was for. I thought I was in big trouble. I couldn't figure out what I did. And the principal said, your mother's called in a panic, and there's a semi-load. This is the first semi-load of bikes I'd ever gotten.
Well, one time the semi came up, and it was a load, and he said, a load here for Erik. And I thought, what do you do now? And he said, well, I called Erik at school, and they let him release him.
And this truck was at the front door, and she had no way of unloading it. My mother's, that just wasn't possible for her to do. So the principal said, your mother's called in a panic. There's a big load of bikes at the door, and they need to be unloaded, and she can't do it. I'm going to let you go home this one time, but it better never happen again.
And he came home and got the truck unloaded. They both waited for him. And they filled our dining room with bikes.
Yeah, so that was and we loaded them into the dining room, and that was the story. But I always made sure those semis were scheduled for after school from then on.
Erik now has over 100 employees. His selection has expanded from just bicycles to snowboards and skateboards and all the gear that goes with them. He has based his success on a solid foundation, hard work, and a passion for what he does.
I built on that to say, if I was buying this product, would this product work for me? Would it be a quality level that I'd be satisfied with? Would it be a price that I would be happy to pay and feel that there's good value? So everything we do is measured on the customer and kind of based back to that basic of personalized service.
Erik is a hands-on kind of guy, on the scene, involved with his staff, and engaging with his customers. He learned early the skill of listening.
I'd always think to myself, if I was the customer, if I was in the customer's shoes, how would I want this problem handled? And then I would try to resolve the problem with the customer in mind. And that's how I want everybody in the company to feel again, is that it's their reputation, it's Erik's reputation, you're representing Erik's reputation, and that, how would you want this situation handled if you were the customer? And if you always look out for the customer's interests and do what's best, then success will follow from that.
Listening to what people want and how they want to be treated. His shops, no longer in the barn behind his family home, are strategically located to best attract and service his growing, satisfied clientele.
I learned from my mistakes. I also just tried to instill an element of common sense in the business. If I was in the customer's shoes, how would I want this problem handled? And then I would try to resolve the problem with the customer in mind.
Erik is a true success story. No one handed him the keys to a family business. He created his own.
Erik's Bike and Board, we pedal good bikes.
Erik the Bike Man!
Erik the Bike Man.
Erik the Bike Man!